Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sugar. Now, sugar is a very, very tricky thing because most of us don't know that the sugar we're consuming on a daily basis, that it is not naturally taken and crystallized from the sugar cane. There's several things that has happened with this acid that we're ingesting. It is actually just pure acid that is extracted from the sugar cane. It is not something that has actually been taken and extracted and evaporated, I can't speak today, evaporated into crystallized sugar. So one of the processes that I found out several years ago that actually turned me off completely, and I actually saw it in an Arabic article. Not that I could read it that well, but I just saw them talking about sugar, and I wanted to know what, and then I saw some words that were talking very negative about the sugar. So I tried my best to translate it through Google Translate, which was horrible. And but it gave me enough. It gave me this word called bone and char. And I'm like, what is bone char? And so I did research, like this is basically about 4 years ago. So I did the research to find out what was this bone char. Well, bone char is what they actually take and make their refined sugar from. So they extract this acid from the sugar cane, and then what they do is they take the bone of animals and grind them. They ground these bones. And then take that and they mix, with all their chemicals or whatever, and this is how you get your refined sugar. So from white sugar to white sugar with coloring in it. So I told someone today that when you are getting your brown sugar, and you think, oh, I got some natural sugar, it's nothing but coloring that's been placed into that, okay? And so it's not the evaporated crystals that actually come from, the sugar cane. Now, we were blessed. We've been blessed, mashallah, for the past, our whole life. But really, in terms of food, even when I wasn't into eating healthy or eating based upon the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the life of our beloved Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, I was still placed in environments where I had access to things that were really, really natural. And what I say to people now, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had me on a path, and that path was preparing me for where I'm at now. So when I lived in Egypt for about 11 months, as well as Indonesia for several months, and then Malaysia, I had the opportunity to just drink sugarcane. I'll never forget in Egypt when I was visiting one of my friends, and they had a sugarcane juicer guy at the corner of her house. And I was on my way to go to her house, and I was so thirsty, so I went over to see what he was juicing. And he said, suqr. And I'm like, I'm not drinking that. Pure sugar? No way. So you have to remember, I came from tackling my gestational diabetes with the Atkins diet. So sugar for me was a taboo, although I went back to sugar anyway. But I just couldn't imagine drinking a cup of it. And so he was telling me, no, this is really good, it's good for you. I didn't really understand the Egyptian dialect at that time, but I just knew that he was telling me it was good. So I said, okay, let me try it. And I tried it, and it was cold, with ice. It was delicious. It wasn't all sweetened like if you just took that acid that we have, that white powdered acid, and put it in a cup, and it'd just be, But it was really, really delicious. Well, when I got to Indonesia, I really started finding out the benefits of it, and just watching people actually just suck on sugar cane. Unfortunately, these same people, they have sugar cane everywhere. A lot of them, they would come down and serve me tea and bring me the white acid. And I'm like, please, just give me the sugar cane, So, but same thing in Malaysia. So Really, I posted in one of the comments on the page, but I'm actually going to post it with this video as well, the pictures, so that you can see. If you have access to sugarcane, then really it's low on the glycemic index. It has so many benefits in terms of curing diseases, so it is something you want to get, but you have to stay away from all the other sugars. All of them. And in the initial stages of trying to rid yourself from the diabetes, you want to just kind of stay low-key. So even if you have access to sugar cane, you don't want to overdo it. You maybe, once a day, try to use it if it helps in terms of sweetening a cup of tea or something. But and none of that should be caffeinated. We'll talk about that. Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.